Late last year, a 79-year-old gentleman went on trial accused of sexual assault. Details of the case are confusing to many of us of the older generation, largely because the actions of the 79-year-old go on all the time in pubs, clubs, bars, offices, etc. In the old days, we would have just said, "Oi, you do that again and you're out." But today, no. Clearly, you have to be really careful. We were at the trial, and the 79-year-old and his two older lady witnesses testified that, to get the attention of a lady barmaid who was facing away from him, he tapped her with the back of his hand on her upper rear. According to the accuser and one male witness, they said the defendant used the underside of his hand to smack her rear, like this. Why was the gentleman charged with sexual assault and not just assault? I mean, he hadn't done anything remotely like, squeezed the lady's breasts or flashed her or groped her below or nothing like that. Even if one accepts the event had occurred as the accuser stated, the man's hand can't have been in contact with her body for more than a split second. In fact, the magistrate, in summing up, said no one would be able to ascertain which version was the truth, but he found in favour of the lady anyway, as no one should put a hand on another person. We felt quite certain most people, especially the older generation, don't have enough awareness. So to specifically encourage debate, in order to advance understanding about this topic, Hartlepool TV's Brian L. Baines collaborated with his actor colleagues, and we filmed 4 very short scenes showing typical interactions that go on all the time in clubs and pubs, etc. But today might actually get you into some very hot water. We then contacted the police media department to request, could somebody from the police or the prosecution service view these short clips on camera with me to teach us how we could know if there was a case to answer in each scene, or if they thought a crime had occurred, why would a case warrant assault as opposed to sexual assault? So we could learn from it. Well, hold your horses, Bonanza. This didn't go at all like we planned. But before I tell you about that, here's the very short clips for you to see.
Yeah, so do I. He's really nice.
Yellow card. This could be seen as sexual harassment. What do you think?
Hey, excuse me. Come here. How much have I had to drink?
You've had quite a lot. You've been here for a few hours now.
Give us a small whiskey.
I can't. You already owe me £7 for all the drinks you've had.
Is this all mine?
Yeah, that's all yours.
Tell you what, here's your phone. I'm
No,
sick.
I can't.
Red card. This could be seen as sexual harassment. What do you think?
It's just because we've got our presentation due in a few
Guys, we've got this presentation on Thursday. There's a lot of money involved.
Yellow card. This could be seen as sexual harassment. What do you think?
Okay, next position is downward facing dog. Go. Very good. Thank you. A little bit.
Red card. This could be seen as sexual harassment. What do you think?
So our email request went into the police media department, and we're not naming the media contact because we feel they were stuck in the middle and it would be unfair. They replied, "Thanks for your email. We have had a look into this and don't think it is something that we can comment on. Each person perceives actions differently, and what could be perceived as sexual assault to some people may not to others. Therefore, we don't think we can give personal views on whether we think something would constitute sexual assault or not. Apologies that we can't get involved." Then you may remember that Hartlepool TV reported on the crime meeting in Foggy Firs at which Commissioner Coppinger attended. At the end of the meeting, I showed the Commissioner the email exchanges, and Mr. Coppinger took my number and said he would call with the details of somebody that could comment and advise. Well, we didn't hear anything, so we contacted the media people again, asked if Mr. Coppinger had found someone to instruct and advise on these behaviours, and said, look, you know, if you guys can't decide whether there's a case to be answered in any of these clips, how are we supposed to know? So here's the last email in the string where they say, thank you for your email. From a communication perspective, the difficulty is that the scenarios in the video are ambiguous in that what separates a gesture of affection from sexual assault is a matter of consent. That is, both people agreeing to what's happening by choice and having the freedom and ability to make that choice. There are many variables to consider and the victim's account to be taken before determining whether to proceed with the prosecution. We couldn't say absolutely that it is sexual assault or not because it's up to the individual to decide whether they consented or not. They then go on to give an explanation of sexual assault that we'll show at the end of this video. Let's be crystal clear. Abuse, be it physical or mental, is completely abhorrent and totally unacceptable. Challenge today is if the police and prosecution can't give you more specific guidelines, how are we supposed to know? What's to stop you, with no prior history and an unblemished life, finding yourself in the dock at 79 years old? In summing up, it's our hope this video does promote further debate amongst everybody and thereby greater awareness. But I guess at the end of the day, we'll just have to settle on needing to respect one another's space a lot more and just hope like mad life doesn't land you with a sexual assault charge. Please like and follow Hartlepool TV on Facebook and YouTube.